The biggest event in Indian football is almost upon us. I'm talking about the 7th edition of the Indian Super League. The 2020-21 season is almost upon us and will be starting in the end of November in Goa. Now, all the matches are going to be played in Goa and it is going to be a completely closed door event. So keeping in mind the build up towards the tournament, the league has announced a set of new guidelines for the team to follow from the start of the season. Now, these guidelines have been designed keeping in mind the bigger picture of the development of sport in the country. Let's have a look at some of these guidelines to help us better understand how they can help the sport in India. First of all, the head coaches. The head coaches are required to have AFC Pro licenses. These licenses are recommended by the Asian Football Confederation for all head coaches who are coaching their teams in the top leagues in Asia. Now that is a very big thing for us to achieve, that we are now counted amongst the big leagues in Asia especially. Now, apart from that, all teams in the ISL have to have at least one Indian assistant coach. Now I tell you why this is a very big thing. Because for a number of years, there have been a number of Indian local coaches who have been training a lot of these talent who come to the fore, and they've been working on the grassroots levels. Now finally they'll be getting an opportunity to represent their talents and to showcase their skills at the highest level in Indian football at least. So that is a good step in the right direction by the league. In terms of foreign players, the minimum number of foreign players that you need to have in your squad is 5, and the maximum number of players that you can have is 7. The number of players that can play in your playing 11 has still remained 5, but this number is all set to change from the 2021-22 season and will come down to 3+1, which is 3 foreigners from anywhere in the world and 1 player from the AFC region, the Asian Football Confederation region. That is again a good thing because it reduces the number of foreigners in the playing 11, which means it will give more opportunities to the youngsters of the country to grab that spot in the playing 11 and to show their talents in the match. Next up is the squad size. Now the squad size used to be maximum of 25 players. Now that has gone up to 35 now. And why this is important? Because a lot of players who were on the fringes of breaking into these squads will now have the opportunity of getting that experience of being a part of a very big club's squad. There is another rule which says that you need to have at least 2 emerging players in your squad, which is 2 under 21 players. That is another very important aspect, and these under 21 players not only have to be in your squad, they have to be in the starting 18 on a match day. The squad that you announce for your match day, they have to be in that squad too. So that is again a very positive step forward. In terms of the marquee players, there has been made a clear distinction between a veteran marquee player and a prodigy marquee player. Obviously, a veteran is someone who has played a set number of matches for one of the top European clubs, has represented his country at the international level in world tournaments. The prodigy player is being defined as any player who is under 23 years of age, has played at least a couple of matches for any of the top 5 European club leagues, and has at least had 3 caps for his national side. Now, this is very important because a salary cap has also been instated for these marquee players. Now this salary caps really changes everything around, because now the big spending clubs cannot go and recruit these big names for obscene amount of money and just increase the gap between themselves and the lower ranked clubs. So it kind of brings them together in terms of their resources and the amount they can spend on key players, which is the right way forward in terms of the quality of the league as well as the development of the sport in the country. So these are some of the guidelines that have been laid out, and we'll see them in effect from this season. As I said, the season starts off in November, towards the end of November in Goa. All the teams are reaching Goa in September, by the end of September, to start their pre-season camp and train towards the build-up of the season. And you know what? All of us are very excited, and let's go out there and, I mean, not go out there, stay at your homes and uh, support your favorite teams. And yeah, it's time for India to let's football.